This is Dave Fargo Kozak, lead quest designer of World of Warcraft, and you are listening to the Epic Podcast.
This is the beginning and the end.
You're listening to the Epic Podcast Show with your hosts, Lignar, Walmardian,
He told me to tie her up and do whatever I wanted to her. So I took a stereo.
and Medicakes.
Do you think the expansion will make me fat?
Enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey folks, you are listening to Epic Podcast, episode 149. I am Medicix, and with me is Lignar and Walmardian.
Hi!
Hey, what's up?
Hi!
What's up?
Oh my god. We are not broadcasting from our respected beds.
No.
And I wouldn't be able to do that anyway. Like I said on Twitter, like you guys, you could, but I'm not going to pick up this PC, the monitors, the mix board, the mic stand. No.
I was, but then again, I'm so used to having like the laptop up on the desk and in front of me, and I'm not used to kind of hunched down and trying to type.
I don't know. For the first time, I'm questioning Lig's commitment to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is every time I move this equipment, we have audio problems. So now, question my commitment to the show.
I'm still questioning it because it's worth to move it and figure out the problems just so we can have an epic podcast sleepover.
We can do that in May when we do the marathon.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I guess it won't technically be a sleepover; it'll be a stay awake over.
It'll be a sleepover for me. I'll nod off at the computer. I guarantee. Hour 16. There's Joe.
If we have Aeon there, no, you won't.
Well, hey, he dozed off at
sleep
the
some
end.
of it? Didn't you sleep some of the last one, Benny?
Yeah, I had
Because
to.
you weren't feeling well, right?
No.
Yeah, so.
And Aeon nodded off for like the last 40 minutes or so, and I was flying solo, so I'm not gonna. Well, and part of that, like
coffee and energy drinks next time.
I think we would have been fine had we not gotten absolutely hammered the night before we started the marathon and had to do it hungover. Like we literally, we started at 10 a.m. Central Time because I was living in Houston at the time, and we rolled out of bed at like 9:40.
Yeah, I won't be drinking like that.
Well, no, the plan is now for the alcoholics to show up a couple days ahead of time so we can get that out of our system and be mostly recovered by the time the actual marathon rolls around. So, if we
don't drink that much.
If we do it on a Saturday again, which that's the plan, hopefully the plan is for like Medi and Aeon anyway. And if the rest of y'all who are coming want to come or those days, that's fine. But those of us who are at least semi-pro alcoholics show up like Wednesday or Thursday so we can get it out of our system, or rather get it into our system. And
in and out.
If Aeon makes those caipirinhas the way he did last time, oh my god.
Yeah, we'll have to get 2 bottles of cachaça. Anyway, we're not the let's get shit-faced and hungover podcast.
We should. We need to do LFH again.
Yeah, we should, but man, we'll talk about it later.
I guess I didn't put them in the show notes, but Weekend WoW.
Oh yeah.
Well, since you didn't put it in the show notes, who are you starting with? Because we're
I'm
flying blind.
Yeah.
Blind.
I'll go and start with myself because you guys run me over anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my talking in now. Not a lot.
Okay. Thank God for that.
I was going to listen to All Things Azeroth last night because one of my favorite parody makers was being interviewed, and one of the guest hosts, Silver Latomi. But I had already missed OHS raid last Tuesday being on All Things Azeroth, and they needed a healer, so I ended up raiding with them last night. I finally was able to make Lignar Sky Golem.
Hey.
My blood and sweat and tears, it is finished.
Aww.
So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make a couple more of those between now and May. maybe for some possible prizes for the marathon.
And the first thing I did in that thing was I went, mounted, and picked some flowers because fuck you, druids.
God, it's so full of hate.
Just saying.
Anyways, next up, Joe. What'd you do?
Oh, I'm up. Mostly it's been leveling my hunter on the PvP realms, PvP realm that I'm on, and he just actually dinged 85 today. And the experience for me mostly has been about just leveling with a full set of heirlooms for the first time, because for all the leveling I've done, I've never actually leveled with a full set of heirlooms. I'm talking all the pieces plus a weapon and trinkets, all that stuff, the whole kit and caboodle.
Goes quick, doesn't it?
It's amazingly quick, and it almost pains me to think of all the characters I've leveled without this before. But I mean, without having cross realm, a lot of these characters that I did were always on new realms and stuff like that, or whatever. So I never had the possibility of shipping these around and buying them and all that stuff. So I never worried about it. But man, do I almost regret it, because it's amazingly fast. So I've been enjoying that. With the Hearthstone now going an open beta, I went ahead and started an EU account as well. So it's not weekend WoW, but yeah, I actually started an EU Hearthstone account, and I'm fiddling with that and building my decks up just so I can hang out and play some of my EU friends as well. So yeah, that's pretty much been me and Blizzard gaming for the week. So what about you, Lig?
As Maddie said, I got my Sky Golem today.
Well, yes, there's that.
That's actually, as far as me and WoW, that's pretty much it. I've been dealing with some real life stuff past week or so. Not really been home for a big chunk of it. Did get a chance to play some, and actually I ranted on Twitter about NDAs, and apparently I went and reread the NDA, or actually the amended NDA, and I am allowed to say the name of the game that I'm in for their beta. I'm just not allowed to discuss anything that they post on the forums, which I think is kind of weird. But anyway, I am in the Infinite Crisis beta, which, if you're not familiar with, it is from Turbine, who's the folks who made Secret World and Age of Conan. And it's a MOBA that uses the DC Universe characters, so I get to go be Batman and punch people. So I'm happy. I also get to be Joker and throw like chattering teeth at people, so I'm happy. And the thing is like, without going too deep into that game, there's some things about it I don't like. And most of those are things that I don't like about most MOBAs. Like, I hate the store. I freaking hate it. I think it's a stupid concept that every so often I got to go back and buy shit, and not, because that's just not fun to me. Like, I want to be out there beating people up, not going back and shopping. But some of the stuff that they do get right is that, and this is one thing that I think Heroes of the Storm is going to crush for those of us who play WoW or StarCraft or Diablo, is part of the appeal for me for this game is its characters that I know and love. And I think Heroes of the Storm is going to really grab a hold of that for a lot of us Blizzard fans. So I didn't put too much weight into that until I started playing Infinite Crisis, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to work with Blizz. So I've done that. I played some MechWarrior Online, like you and I were talking about in the pre-show. I suck, but it's been fun. That's about it. Played some StarCraft with the girlfriend's oldest, trying to get him hooked on StarCraft. That's really about it for me. And it's been, very, very casual with pretty much all the gaming that I've done for the past week. Haven't raided, actually, with Team Fert for over a week.
We miss you.
Yeah, I miss Team Fert, too. I miss boobies. I mean, raid chat.
Wow.
Dude, that's how our raid chat is. It's boobs this and boobs that. And
that's what she said.
Right, yeah, that
Why
too.
am I not involved?
You'd fit right in, I'm telling you.
I'd fit right in. I'd fit right in.
There you go. You'd fit right in. Yeah, good one.
Is that on the Lion side or
Horde side?
Horde side, drink.
There we go.
Since the referee's not
you guys
here,
that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's it for me. I'm hoping to, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, I guess, because my triumphant return to raiding. I'm not sure where we're starting. I know they got spoils down Sunday night, and I was hoping to be there for spoils, but Real life wins, you know.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Definitely.
But anyway, that's it for me. So I guess we're gonna move on.
Yep.
Sweet.
Somebody needs to read the show notes.
I'm reading the
It's
show
got
notes.
his name next to the next thing. Yeah.
I thought
I know,
maybe
right?
somebody would give me a grand introduction, but fine. I'll just go on and speak as if I made this up myself. Let's go on to the world event news, shall we?
Yeah. Whoa, we need better segues.
Yes, we should put like a segue section. All right. This week we actually just, what's that, yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. Blizzard put out a Azeroth by the numbers kind of, was it infographic they called it?
Yeah.
Had a whole bunch of stats and stuff comparing, their player base to, how many people populate certain countries and things like that. Just random facts about the game. There's a lot of them, and I remember scrolling through and I was surprised at how many they just kept coming up with. It's interesting. But that's, I don't know.
I thought the Diablo one that they did a year or so ago was more interesting.
See, I don't remember that one offhand, actually. I'm kind of disappointed I don't, but I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of these, I guess, in my estimate, from my opinion, they didn't surprise me. For as long as this game has been out and how many people have played and everything else, I think the one that interested me the most, kind of surprised me, is how many words are in the game. Like 6 million words, equivalent of 12 copies of Lord of the Rings. Never even thought of something like that. That is, I mean, for the people that put all that time and effort into the writing and stuff, that is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's not one that I would say is surprising. It's one of those where you go like, wow.
Well, yeah, it just kind of, yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, I was like, yeah.
No, for me, the thing that I found the most surprising is every day in Azeroth, there are 900,000 PvE instances run.
Right.
670,000 PvP instances run. And 3.6 million pet battles. Like, I'm not a pet battles fan, right? I understand people like it, and whatever, to each their own. I had no idea. I mean, I knew pet battles was popular, but I had no idea it was that popular. It is literally 4 times popular than PvP. I'm sorry, PvE.
That is, yeah. But, I mean, you can do it by yourself, so... I mean, you're not going to do a lot. You can't really do... I mean, I guess questing... Is questing technically considered just... I mean, it is PvE, I guess. Are they including that, or is it instance?
No, they said
only?
They said PvE instances.
Okay.
But let's think about how big of a success that we heard that scenarios were.
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever bought that.
But we heard about it, and I never heard anybody really complain about them. Like, they aren't really my thing. It's whatever. But
I don't know. I was hoping they would be more story based than what they ended up being.
Yeah, me too.
Personally, but that's a whole nother topic.
And the last statistic I think has to include LFR. Garrosh has been defeated 400,000 times already. And here's the thing: is like, are they counting that like? Are those player kills, or is that just Garrosh died this many times? Like, if you include an LFR, one LFR could be counted as 25 kills because 25 people got credit for that kill.
Right.
Kind of like the man hour. The same math of doing a man hour.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious how they're doing that.
The only thing that stuck out to me on that one was, of course, that they got pictures of Illidan and Lich King and Deathwing all dead, and then of course Garrosh is just like victory or death, and he of course doesn't die.
Right.
Which still irritates me. But anyway, we wouldn't have Warlords without it, I guess. So whatever.
We still could.
I know we still could.
But
yeah, but that is I don't like an end boss that we've been dealing with this whole time. Just like it's like the Joker or any other Batman villain going to Arkham and they're like, "Ooh, he escaped again." Put him back in Arkham. "Ooh, he escaped again." Is that what Garrosh is going to end up being? But this graphic just emphasized that for me. So.
Well, and you could kind of say, that started with Lich King, right? Because Arthas died, but the Lich King didn't.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of like splitting hairs, I know, but
yeah, but we're getting off track.
Yeah, we are. But I'm just, I agree. I agree with you though. Like, I think that the bad guy needs to die. I'm sorry,
Yep.
he just needs to die.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Maddie, what do you think about the infographic?
Pretty interesting. Didn't they do one of these before?
They did one for Diablo.
I thought they did one for WoW before.
No, when I saw it on Twitter, I think it was Bashiok said, or maybe it was Zarum, was like, the first ever WoW infographic.
I could have sworn they did one already for WoW. The thing that I found pretty amazing and interesting was for the sound, 3,900 minutes. That's 44 audio sequences worth of music and sound effects in WoW.
Yeah.
And that is just amazing because the music is just
right
gorgeous.
And I just linked in the chat room, I linked the Diablo infographic. It was at the 1-year anniversary of Diablo 3.
Oh, okay.
Toasty Posty can't stand that Razer did an infographic did one, so. But, I mean, but that's the thing, is like they don't have the raw data that Blizzard does. You know, I mean, they can get a close approximation. There's no two ways around it, right? Like, I'm sure Curse, with as many people running the Curse client, Curse could probably figure out, you know, how many people are doing PvE versus PvP and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, they also, unless we're going to talk more about the infographic. Okay, they also went on and talked some more about bonus rolls and what can be used, what can be won with them. The Quivering Blob can be won. Excuse me. Crap, I hate that. Like, I was getting ready to sneeze, and I'm like, I'm going to mute myself, and then the sneeze goes away. But the Quivering Blob can be won. Nala, Kundasta, Galleon, and Nishav Anger mounts can be bonus rolled. Raid mounts cannot. The Reigns of the Astral Cloud Serpent aren't and never have been bonus rollable. Which one's that? The Astral Cloud Serpent. Which one is that?
That's the one from
Is that the one that drops off of the drops off the lightning? Right? Yeah. The Titan dude.
Mm-hmm.
Whose name I can't remember right now, but you just said
Li Shen?
No,
Elegant, right? Yeah.
Korkron Shaman's Treasure cannot be bonus rolled. And you can bonus roll Siege Pets in appropriate difficulties due to community feedback about Quivering Blob. The pet is separate roll from items, so it doesn't have any impact on winning other loot. And also the BOAs, the heirlooms from Garrosh, cannot be bonus rolled. Never have been, never will be, is my guess. Well, they never have been, and I'm guessing they never will be. Which would kind of suck. If we get into the next expansion, you still don't have it, and you're going and running old content, and you still can't use these Warforged seals that you have that you can't fucking use on anything else.
Yeah.
They need to make it bonus rollable when Warlords comes out, in my opinion. But otherwise, this currency is just going to hang out in your character, and you're never going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all up to RNG, and
right.
Knowing me and my RNG relationship with Blizzard.
Right, yeah, you told me today. How many times have you run Black Temple and still not gotten your...
24 weeks. 24 solid weeks.
Yikes.
And that's not including the ad hoc runs that we would do occasionally. Because I know I ran it probably 10 or 12 times before you and Rose started doing it every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've basically been running it for, 24 weeks is 6 months. You've been basically running it for half a year. So...
Go fuck yourself, Illidan.
Deep sigh.
Oh, but that main hand Warglaive dropped.
Again?
For me, no. Not again.
I'll say, because I was like, yeah, I'll take my rogue, and then y'all went, and then you told me the Warglaive dropped. I'm like, I told you I'd take my rogue. Or like during the marathon last time when none of us had a rogue and it dropped.
We're going to run that in
Okay.
the marathon. If I still do not have Cursed Vision, we're going to run Black Temple.
So you're not going to run it on Tuesday after reset. You're going to wait until Saturday.
I'm going to wait.
All right.
I will twitch and whine and stomp my feet. But I'll wait.
The other, I guess we already talked about that. So the next piece is level 90 is on the PTR. You could boost to level 90 right now, but it appears the final step of the process is not yet working. I haven't been on the PTR. I have the PTR downloaded and updated on my actual my primary gaming machine, but I haven't logged in to check. Joe, have you? I know you check the PTR every now and then. Medi, you don't, do you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, generally I do, but I just actually realized that since I reloaded my computer, I paused the download on the PTR when I first installed, so it was not
Ooh.
completely
Yeah,
done.
I might need to check that because when we got that big patch after maintenance last week with like everything got like a patch, I might have paused the PTR, so it might not be
Yep.
updated.
Yeah, I went to patch it yesterday, and I was like, oh crap, I've got like 20 gigs to download. So I'm going to let that go overnight.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that soon because there's a lot of talk of what's going on there. And I saw earlier, where was it, on Reddit, apparently Wildhead has unearthed the sets of gear that you will get for level 90. I think it was 483 eye level. So you can get right into LFR and stuff like that, and they had a different set for each type of gear, cloth, leather, etc. So stuff's starting to come out, and this is what we're talking about. You and me both, like in particular, we're waiting for this kind of information to start rolling and start building towards a beta. So I think we're getting. This is just, for me, it's getting me excited. We're getting ever closer to the beta.
Well, okay, so I agree with you, but the question I have is, do we typically get pre-orders before we get beta or not? Because they said if you pre-order the digital version, you'll get your level 90 boost now.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't previously, I remember when, at least for Miss, they didn't have any of that stuff available until fairly deep into the beta, if I remember right. So,
well, all I know is we both were kind of talking about end of January we'd have beta, and I got 2 days left.
I know we're screwed on that,
but Friday is the last day of January, and a lot of betas have come out lately from Blizz on Fridays. So we'll see.
I don't know. Knock on fake wood. I'm fine with that.
I'm not going bamboo because that's what my desk is made of.
Mine was bought at Walmart, so I'm sure this is just
It's wood. It's just little pieces of wood all glued together.
Sweet. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think we're talking about in terms of whether we've gotten pre-orders before a beta or whatever else. This is unique in that, well, there's a incentive with the Instant 90, so they probably would break precedent and take pre-orders before a beta on this one. So we'll see. We'll see.
Maddie?
So.
What?
Any comment?
No.
All right. Hey, Jen goes in the chat room. Yay.
I'm like,
she makes the show notes and puts news things that she doesn't want to talk about. What?
I told Leg that he'd be the majority of the one talking.
Well, because you guys said you were going to be in bed in your pajamas. I figured y'all would be asleep. I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm doing a solo show tonight.
All right.
I'll have to edit out Joe and Meddy snoring and shit. So
I don't know why my computer is all blah right now. Lagging. I don't know why. I think someone's playing Call of Duty.
Wonder who that could be.
Yeah, jeez.
So you want to kick off the next topic, Meddy?
Yeah. So there has been feedback, air quotations, feedback about the human female model. Basically, a lot of people are QQing, but a lot of people are liking this too.
I'm digging it.
A lot of people are, she's too pretty and she's too skinny looking, and I'm like, she looks a fuckload better than what she normally looks like.
Yeah.
People, oh god, I don't want to turn this into what is it, morals and ethics and equality for women podcast, which I should. I would piss off a lot of women though.
No, go for it, because I know I did it a couple weeks ago.
Stop your bitching. Especially when it comes to a fantasy female character. I mean, she looks toned and not Kate Moss skinny, and I don't understand where these people are coming from, the ones that are complaining about how a fantasy character looks. You know, and they're like, oh, well, they make her look, what is it, wayfish. And somebody posted, that's all well and good, but making her skinnier and more wayfish, especially in Warcraft, seems like the wrong direction in which to have deviated.
Yeah, I don't think she's skinnier. I think she's more defined.
Right. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't understand where these people are coming from.
And Django just said in the chat room, kind of what you and I talked about, I think a little bit. Well, we kind of chatted about it in Skype. And actually, like, I was all fired up and ready to rant, and then I listened to the latest Azeroth Pirate Radio, and Corey pretty much said what was on my mind. Like, there are people who don't want her to be, because I don't think she's skinny at all, right? The model of this female human looks like she is physically fit. And I'm sorry if I'm expecting somebody to be slaying monsters and demons and dragons. I would expect them to be in pretty good physical condition. Sorry, I'm not going to expect them to be obese and maybe a little chubby or whatever.
We have pandas, dwarfs.
Right. And as far as her being pretty, I don't know. Like, if I look at her face, to me, she kind of has Paris Hilton eyes, which means nothing behind them. She looks like she's dumb as a box of hair. So
physically fit, but not intelligent. So she's a grunt. She won't be laying out the plans for people.
I mean, I don't know. I guess my thing is whoa.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, I just had a power surge here, so if you heard that beep, that was my UPS. So that was where that little buzz came from.
Ooh.
Yay for UPSs, right? Yeah, and Chief Old Jen in the chat room just said for a human she looks great. Now, part of me, and this is what's going to actually maybe stir up some shit. Part of me wonders if this first model reveal that we've had in quite some time, part of me wonders if it's female so they can cater to the people who bitched about not getting female models first.
Well, they gave them female models, and then they still bitched about them.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my point. Like there seems to be a small group. It is a small group of a vocal minority that just are never going to be happy when it comes to any representation of females in WoW and the way Blizzard does it, because they're not doing it the way they would do it.
Well, you know what? Get into graphic design and get a job at Blizzard and do it your damn self. It's just what you expect Blizzard's characters to look like and be is not my belief.
No, I agree.
You know, just because you want your character to look a certain way and you don't want them to be skinny or pretty or attractive, God forbid, doesn't mean that I don't want them like that.
Right.
Not everyone is going to agree with your belief and your opinion. And it's just like
And that doesn't necessarily mean that your belief or opinion is wrong.
Right, you know, and I don't understand. And I guess the thing that I can't wrap my brain around is I understand that you have your own set of moral beliefs and ethics and how you feel women should be treated and how you feel that women in games should be treated and viewed and etc. But it's like, instead of QQing about it and raising a fuss and all that fun jazz on social media, what do you want to do? What would you like to happen? What is your call to action?
See, the cynic, the cynic in me thinks. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because to me, it's just like all they want to do is whine, but they don't offer up any solutions, any logical solutions.
Right. Well, and what I was going to say is the cynic in me thinks that had they made the human female portly, those same people would have bitched.
Right. It's a damned if they do, damned if they don't situation, and it's just amazing that so much uproar is happening about fantasy characters, and they're like, well, it's the way that women are perceived in the real world. Well, okay, I can kind of see that, but then go talk about like what they're doing in books and movies and songs, you know. But I'm just like, I don't understand.
I guess my thing is, I think I kind of said this before, and I'm pretty sure I've said it on Twitter. Actually, I know I've said it on Twitter. If a video game is incapable of telling me that violence is okay, like whenever there's any kind of public violence, mass shootings, whatever, we all as gamers band together when somebody inevitably in the media says video games did this, right? We all as gamers, whether or not we're MMO players, first-person shooter players, real-time strategies, we all band together and say, no, that's bullshit. But yet we sit by when somebody says video games change how I view women, we all sit by and let it go. And I'm sorry, both can't hold water.
Wow. Very, very nice. I like that.
Both of those arguments cannot hold water. I'm sorry. One of them is not true. I'm not saying which one is and which one is not, but it's a lot of the same people who say Call of Duty doesn't make people shoot people. That they come around and say, oh, well, because this model looks this way, or this skin for this character looks this way, it's objectifying women and teaching men that they could objectify women in real life. I'm sorry, if a video game can't tell me that violence is okay in the real world, then it's not also capable of telling me that objectifying women is okay. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. The same argument doesn't hold with me. It doesn't make sense. So...
Oh, but the dragons, Meddy.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, let's not get started on the whole...
Because we'll end the show sometime
dragons.
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And I might have a mob after me.
But
we don't want to talk about that.
I've actually... that what I just said about how video games affect our perception of the real world, I've wanted to say that for months on the show. It just kind of happened this time.
They can adopt other mythical creatures.
There's plenty of Murlocs looking for a good home.
Wow.
Oh.
Ooh.
So, yeah, if anybody's not plugged into social media, they don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but if they are, they probably do know what we're talking about, so especially if they follow the Blizzard folks. But yeah, I don't understand, like, and I'm not saying that, I'm not saying the people who have these concerns about how females are represented in games, I'm not saying they don't have some valid points, especially when it comes to the I don't want to say complaint. That's almost what I said, but that's not. When it comes to the argument about what their gear looks like and they shouldn't look like they're wearing a plate bikini.
I like that plate bikini. Thank you very much.
I know. That's what I was going to say, Medi. I know you like that look. If there are people out there who don't like that look, they should have the option to not have that look. I agree with that, but don't take it away from.
They don't have the transmog.
True, but I was going to say, don't take it away from the people who do want it. That's all. And because then you're just as bad. If you do take stuff away from people who want something, you're just as bad. So I don't know.
I'm gonna maybe step over the lines, the boundaries.
Go for it.
But to me, it's no different than when people get persecuted for not believing in a very popular religion. I can see how they act the same.
Right.
Oh, you don't believe this? Well, you should, because it's the right way.
Well, and to kind of bring it back to WoW, something that I've noticed about shortly after BlizzCon, and Joe, you're just being really quiet. Are you just not wanting to piss people off?
No, it's because I'm seething and I don't want to say what I want to say.
Okay, well, let me finish and maybe you'll want to say it, because I really want to hear what you guys say.
Yeah, okay.
Right after BlizzCon, when we got the 3 new models, right, there was a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'm disappointed, that Blizzard missed the mark, they struck out, they didn't show any of the female models. They did, they just weren't playable, right? But they did. If you watch the art panel, they showed them. They just weren't up to Blizzard specs yet, up to their standard of playability yet. The thing that I find the most interesting is most of the people that I heard, now, I'm not saying this is most of the people that were actually saying these things, but most of the people I heard or saw making comments about it were dudes, not women.
It's because a lot of dudes play female characters because they want to play a female character and look at boobs and butt.
I honestly, well, see, I was even taking a more cynical view, but okay, I'll leave my view unsaid. I really want to hear what Joe's seething over here.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of this bullshit.
Oh God!
I
Go
mean,
get popcorn.
seriously, it's crazy. I mean, can we stop putting all this political, all this extra bullshit in our video games? Do we have to read so much in every goddamn thing out there? Seriously. I mean, you don't like something, don't play it. Don't give it your money. Like I've said before, vote with your money. If you don't like it, then don't support it. Don't keep getting, and certainly don't go making your podcast or living off of it and then bitch about it the whole time. It made you who you are, but you're bitching about it. Get over it. Either play it, don't play it, don't make it into a thing. When you go walking down the street, you don't like what everybody's wearing there. You don't like what everybody's believing or preaching or everything there. It's World of Warcraft. It's not your World of Warcraft. It's everybody's World of Warcraft. Get over it. You may or may not like everything in it. That's the way it is. So be it. Stop making my fucking little video game into your platform and making it a big deal about every little thing. Finding every nook and cranny that you can turn into some political thing and turn it into your angle and make it your thing. Get over it. It's everybody's game, not just yours. I want to just play my game and let it be my game and not have it be another place where the media and everything else can grab a hold of something and make a fucking thing out of it.
I'm just waiting for PETA to be like, "Oh my God, you're killing too many bears for their butts." Oh God.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to give Joe the slow clap.
I'm done.
That deserves a slow clap. I mean, you like didn't even breathe during that. That was awesome. And you basically said everything that's on my mind too. I totally agree.
I just wanna play my goddamn game. It's a fantasy game. Like you're saying, there's dragons and everything else. I mean, it's just and you can talk about they're giving examples of this and teaching our kids that and everything else. Raise your kids your own way and teach your kids that that's wrong. That's fine. Don't let a fucking video game or a movie or anything else raise your kids. It's just like anything else. Like, don't let schools raise your kids and whatever else either. It's okay.
I think this is the most. I'm not sure what the right adjective is.
Agitated.
Yeah, maybe. I was going for something that would cost way more to print than agitated.
Well, here's my thing. I don't have anything against anybody that has their beliefs or
Me neither.
or how they feel or whatever else, and that's perfectly. It's just sometimes I feel like they. And I say they and
They push
whatever,
a little too far.
Yeah, whatever capacity that they have an agenda, that people take certain things and make it a platform, and it's. Like I said, it's just my game. It's my way of escaping the bullshit of the real world. I'm getting sick of the real world stuff being pulled into it all the time. Anyway.
Amen, brother. I fully agree with everything you just said. I really do.
Well, I mean,
and you said it more eloquently than I could have, because I was just basically saying "fuck you, shut up." But you actually.
Well, I get very frustrated because, like I said, I really respect everybody's point of view and how they feel personally, but it gets a point where I feel like, just get your hand out of my fucking peanut butter jar. I'm doing my thing over here. Why does it have to always why does there always have to be something wrong?
You got your politics in my WoW. You got your WoW in my politics.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why do we always have to find something wrong with something to the point? I mean, there's almost nothing in this world we can fucking enjoy anymore because everybody's like, well, that's going to kill you. Well, guess what? Walking outside my front door may kill me. Can we just relax a little bit and stop, pointing to other people at every little thing they're doing, saying that's wrong, that's bad? Well, fine. You don't do. I mean, it goes back to freaking elementary school. Keep your hands to yourself. Just stop.
Yeah, I might play a little YouTube video at the end of this and not include it in the actual show, but I might just send you guys the link. I know Maddie's seen it, but anyway, are we done ranting? I'm done ranting. Joe, are you done ranting?
I think so.
All right, you got it all out?
Probably not, but I'm gonna see what fallout occurs from this. It should be good.
I don't know. Like I know the last time I kind of went off on it, I got some positive feedback when it was. I don't remember what it was, but it was basically the same thing about sexism and that kind of stuff in video games. I kind of went off and
Yeah.
I got some responses on Twitter and everybody's like, "Right on, man, totally agree." And I'm like, "Fuck, what did I say?" Because I was pretty drunk that show, and so I had to go back and.
That's the thing. It's not about even sexism or feminism or any of that stuff. It's just it seems like there's something. Everybody has their own agenda. It seems like there's always something that people have to pull into the game or find something that they can twist into their agenda. I just get so tired of it. Can we just play games and have fun again? I mean, what happened to the fun? Oh,
apparently this game's not been fun since vanilla, if you listen to what the internet says. But anyway.
It's bullshit. Been playing since vanilla, and I can tell you I've loved every second of every moment I've been playing this game. So,
anywho, moving on to the next topic here is we, as part of Catalyst Gaming Media, Catalyst Gaming Media is giving away a Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. I believe it's going to be a digital copy. I don't think it's going to be a CE. I'm not sure. It doesn't say. I think it's just a straight up Reaper of Souls. If you listen to other Catalyst Gaming Media podcasts or read their webcomics or blogs, whatnot, you're going to get a villain from each episode or from each one of those shows. Ours that we talked about we would reveal this week, ours is, and I'm going to say it both ways that I've heard it, Amon and Amon. StarCraft 2 villain. StarCraft, really, not StarCraft 2. Otherwise known as the Dark Voice or the Fallen One, is a malevolent Xel'Naga connected to the Void. If you've played through the campaign of StarCraft 2, you should be familiar with this character. It's been a long time. I don't remember. It's been a long time for me. I don't remember how they pronounced it in the game. That's why I said it both ways, because I've heard it both ways. But if you listen to other shows, the Sundering, Training Dummies, whatever, it's a poor choice of words, but the other podcasts and blogs and webcomics that are part of Catalyst Gaming Media, you get a collection of all of the villains. There are a total of 10 different members of Catalyst Gaming Media that are giving this hint out. Go to the forums on catalystgamingmedia.com/forums. You'll find it. There is one for Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls giveaway, and the instructions are in there on what you need to do. Basically, you need to have the villains from every one of the participating shows, blogs, and webcomics, and from there you have to post in the forums, you have to send an email in and that sort of stuff. But the directions are all right there in that forum post, so go check that out, and we'll try to put a link to that in the show notes to that exact forum post. But yeah, I know we said we were going to do that last week, so that's that.
Ta-da. But that's awesome that they're going to be giving away, the expansion. I mean, when I heard they were doing them, that's amazing. And I actually kind of was like, oh, I'm not eligible because I'm with Catalyst Gaming.
Yeah, and that was actually given to us. It was given to Catalyst by, I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody who listens to a lot of the podcasts that are part of Catalyst. And I know who it is, but I cannot remember the name. And I'm sorry, because I know he listens to our show. And I just am drawing a blank. It's not in the show notes. It's not like I don't have it in front of me, and I just cannot remember the name. So I'm sorry. I know you listen to the show. I know Seraphis has mentioned it. And maybe he's not even mentioned who it was. I'm not sure. So, but it was actually donated to us. So
yeah, that's still really awesome.
I think it makes it more awesome.
It does. I mean, when is the digital available? Do we know? The game's coming out in a month, isn't it?
Coming out in March.
Okay, so just over a month. That's
basically awesome. It's going to be a little less than 2 years, because Diablo 3 came out in May, right?
A little less than 2 years, yes.
Well, I meant 2 years from the launch of Diablo 3, not 2 years from now.
I was like, wow, that's soon TM. For sure.
It's Blizzard soon.
You waited a long time for D3. Well, what's 2 years for the expansion, huh?
But I mean, yeah, it would be May would be 2 years for Diablo 3. because it came out in May.
Right.
So they're a little less than 2 years for Diablo 3. So, yeah, the funny thing is that the thing that's got me excited for it's pretty bad. Like, I'm really excited for Reaper of Souls. I am really excited about it. I'm excited for Warlords. I'm excited for Heroes of the Storm. I am excited about Legacy of the Void. I can't wait for the next StarCraft expansion.
Yeah.
We've got to be getting something about that soon.
Mules.
2014, man. That's what's awesome, because I mean, when I look back at everything that I've been doing with WoW and everything else, I mean, that's all I had any interest in, because let's face it, I mean, until StarCraft 2 and everything else, WoW's pretty much all there was. And now look at all these titles in 2014. It's a great time to be a Blizzard fan.
It totally is. Except, I know I said it before, I predict a replay of 2012. I expect with Hearthstone, we know Hearthstone's going live within the next 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're open beta. We're basically early launch.
Right.
Or soft launch, whatever you want to call it. Heroes is probably going to go live sometime this year. Warlords is going to go live sometime this year. We're going to start hearing stuff about the StarCraft expansion soon. Reapers is going live Reaper, I guess, is going live this year. Are they going to have too much on? Like, I know we talked about this before. Are they going to have too much on their plates to do a BlizzCon this year?
That was my initial thought. But I don't know. I mean, was it Morheim said that they don't want to miss another year? They're that's their goal. Of course, things can change.
Right.
Now, if I remember right, it was Gemmett that said, and I think it was Ghostcrawler. So I mean, who knows how valid this is? But I think Gemmett asked Ghostcrawler directly at BlizzCon, "Is there going to be another one next year?" And Ghostcrawler said, "I can't say," but at the same time nodding his head yes. So take that as you will, but those two things, I'm kind of hoping that,
Right.
And again, I know the movie isn't coming out till 2016, but I think that would be another great promotional tour. If we get a teaser.
They best not do the whole Comic-Con gets shit and we don't thing.
That'll be very, very bad.
And Toasty Posty Can saying in the chat room they can't not do it. It's the WoW 10 year. So that's also, yeah. There's a lot of shit in 2014, but at the same time, if 2012, which they brought out 2 games, right, and had a third one close to launch, if they had too much on their plates then, and they've got at least 2 games going live already in the first half of this year, probably Warlords is going to go live this year. So 3 games. I would expect Warlords to go live sometime this year too. So that's 4. And if not, it's going to be really early 2015 that it goes live.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried that there's not going to be a BlizzCon this year, and I really, really want there to be a BlizzCon because I had such a good time this past year.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the next one. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really. I don't want to say I'm counting on it, but I'm hopeful.
Right. So I guess I don't know. Is that it for a show? We've given our Reaper of Souls giveaway. We've given our villain.
I don't think I've said enough.
You got your YouTube channel. You can say more there.
Okay, I'll blog about it over on my website.
Well, what did you have to say?
I was kidding, just because of my rant. I was hoping you knew. I was like, "Hello, sarcasm."
Well, no, I was trying to put you on the spot so you'd be like,
No, I'm not. No, I've already done myself in with like a significant part of the community.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure all 3 of us have pissed at least some portion of the community off tonight. Which hey, which means we did a good show.
I'm gonna blame you guys for your rubbing off on me. I was so good before.
No, we just made you actually speak.
Shit. Now you're just saying it on a podcast. That's true. All right, fine.
So, Maddie, do you have anything to add to?
My feet are cold and I want a heating blanket.
Okay, so you really didn't have anything to add to the show.
Nope.
So I guess that's it. So why don't you go ahead and wrap us up? It's a short show this week, but that's okay.
Yep. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Leave a review or a thumbs up, please. If you're listening to us via download, you can join our live chat at 9 p.m. Eastern on on Wednesdays at epicpodcast.com/live. You can find us epicpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us a little email. We need to utilize our email more, ask more questions.
Yes. We
You can go to youtube.com slash the Epic Podcast. I'm horrible. I'm so used to you making you do this.
Hey, I'm so used to you doing the intro. I fucked it up a couple of weeks ago, so.
You can visit WowMartian on YouTube at youtube.com/WowMartian, MartieAN. You can find us on Twitter at epic_podcast. Find Lignar at Lignar. You can find WowMartian on Twitter at WowMartian. Again, that's MartieAN. You can find me on Twitter on Metakicks.
So I guess that's it for this week, guys. It's kind of a short show, but I don't know. I had a good time. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
And we pissed off at least several people. So
I will be. If you guys want to let me know how pissed you are, please make sure that you let me know you've unfollowed me on Twitter. Actually, I'll probably figure it out. So that's
yeah, if you're going to unfollow me, I don't care. So
Whatever.
I've been unfollowed enough, and enough shit's gone on in the past year that I'm just like over it.
Right.
I do have to add, I love the people that, when I go all ranty with football, people are like, oh, you're spamming too much about football. I don't care about football. I'm like, well, I really don't care about you spamming about your cat. And what
My
your cat
timeline, bitch.
about what you did and
Is it obvious I've
shopping
been?
and
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it obvious I've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I guess so, Jesse. Good lord. But yeah, I mean, it is all voluntary, so
Right.
I mean, I know I'm not for everybody. Trust me, my parents remind me all the time.
And see, Maddie, all you got to do is when somebody says something about that, and be like, at least I'm not talking about the fucking Grammys, or the Oscars, or the SAG Awards, or whatever fucking award shows on TV this week. Sorry.
Or Justin Bieber, for
Or
God.
Justin Bieber.
Will you please get that out of my timeline?
okay, listen to the show.
Yeah, we need to end the show. So
Oh wait, we're going on another rant. All right.
yeah, it's totally unrelated to the actual content of the show. So
Yeah.
anyway, guys, until next time, have fun a while, y'all.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.